Why has everyone forgotten about male suffrage? That's a good question. You know, in the West, I think in America, men only really had to vote for like 85 years or something, or was it less than that? More than women. So the way it used to work, I believe it was a landowner, right? If you were a landowner, you could vote. If you didn't own land, you couldn't vote. And of course, most people didn't own land, right? So the majority of men couldn't vote, just like the majority of women. Now, eventually, all men got the vote, but they didn't have the vote that much longer than women. And the same is for Europe as well. So how did men get the vote? Male suffrage. That's right, there was male suffrage as well. Nobody talks about that, of course. Yeah. You see, men were the real trailblazers. That's right, we were the real fucking trailblazers. We paved the way for women to get the vote by saying, hey, it's not fair that only landowners get to vote. That might be. That might be. But I do think that you shouldn't be able to vote unless you pay taxes. Okay? I don't think that a person should be able to vote unless they can show at the end of the year at voting time that, hey, the last time taxes were paid, I put a positive amount into the system. I put in more than I took out, so that means I'm an actual taxpayer. I have the right to vote. That's how I think the vote should be. Abso-fucking-positively. Absolutely. And if that was the case, by the way, the majority of women wouldn't be able to vote because the majority of women don't pay tax. That would solve that problem right there. Yeah, women should have the right to vote too. If they pay fucking taxes, if they're getting lots and lots and lots of fucking welfare, no, they shouldn't be able to pay tax. They shouldn't be able to vote, okay? Because they're biased. They have an incentive, essentially, to vote for policies that are bad for taxpayers, meaning to steal ever greater amounts of taxpayers' money to give to themselves. Yeah, so it's in their best interest to vote for policies that are bad for the majority of people. That's my view on voting anyway, and I think it's right. Okay, so why has everyone forgotten about male suffrage? Because nobody cares about men. Men are considered evil. That's the general narrative of the day. General narrative of the day was crafted by feminists or cultural Marxists. Same thing. So, while arguing the case on these pages for a minister for men, oh boy, that's right, yeah, Tim Samuels apologized for trespassing on feminism's most hallowed ground and said, we men have not had to fight tooth and nail for our votes. What a moron. What a fucking moron. Not only did we have to fight tooth and nail, but we had to fight actual fights and die and kill. What did women do? Ooh, oppression. Da, 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 da. Hold up a sign. Walk into fucking saloons in America with fucking hatchets and shit, 80-year-old broads whacking open fucking barrels of beer and everything, and the men are too afraid to do anything because it's this little 80-year-old woman, and they're not supposed to hit women, and she's 80, you know, so all these old women go and smash up the insides of bars to make a point. Yeah. What point is that? Other than that they hate booze? Right. It's booze's fault. These guys, they hang out in the bars all day, and they give me no attention. That's why I'm an old spinster. Yeah, it's not because you're a bitch. No. No doubt everybody would go along with that. Everybody in this country this is from the UK, I believe, is taught from infancy that the suffragettes had to wrest votes for women from a brutal male establishment that was protecting the monopoly exercised by men. Yeah, because we men run everything, right? Oh my. Oh, the article disappears? Eh? Yeah, right. Oh, I have to sign up. Fuck that. Start free trial. And of course, they want my email and everything. Fuck off. Yeah, male suffrage. People don't understand that men fought actual wars. You know, we actually fought and killed and died to get the right to vote. And we didn't have the right to vote for that much longer than women. Well, less than a century. Not even a century. And yet women are always talking about how, oh, men kept the vote from us. No, not really. You kept the vote from you. Your natural biological processes kept the vote from you. Your inability to leave the house because you're having babies constantly because there's such a high infant mortality rate, and most of your kids are dying before age 3, so you're constantly have to pop out kids until you can't have kids anymore. That's keeping you from doing the things that would let you vote, like, say, going to war. Voting is not something you should just automatically get. It's not a right, it's a privilege, and you have to do certain things to get that vote. Nobody was keeping anything from you. Nature was keeping it from you. Oh, but of course, let's just say the rules, the laws of nature don't exist, and I shouldn't really have to do anything to earn the right to vote. I should just have it, right? You know, that's the socialist idea. I'm born, I breathe, give me shit. I'm entitled to shit because I have a pulse. Yeah. No, you're not. And notice, by the way, that they still are not eligible for the draft. You remember hearing about how they're talking about how women are going to be drafted? Where? When is this going to be law? I'll be dead. I'll be dead by the time that happens. They'll be eligible for the draft, yeah. As if that's even going to ever become the case, that we're going to draft people again. Women don't have to worry. Yeah, they're talking about they want frontline combat positions. You know what happens when a woman in the military is going to be sent off to war? She gets pregnant, and then she gets sent home. No women serve in frontline combat positions. If they get blown up, it's totally accidental, incidental. It's not in any way, shape, or form because they put themselves purposely into danger. We were in a supply train and my van got blown up. By the way, how many women are you seeing with one leg and one arm and shit, and they wearing prosthetics? I always see the fucking guys wearing artificial legs and artificial arms. Where are the women like this? Where are the women that were hit with these IEDs and shit? Huh? I don't see them. When I see these videos online from the VA and all that, the only thing I see are guys missing limbs. Where are the women missing limbs? Not too many. I'm sure there's an exception. You can find one, right? There was a supply train, and we were going through an area we thought had been, pacified, and we didn't think there were any enemies there. Right. Because if there were, there would have never been a woman there to get blown up in the first place if they knew about it. If they knew that there were enemy insurgents in that area. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. The military protects women, just like all men protect and white knight for women. They'll never, ever be in an actual real combat situation. Never. They just want easy, cushy jobs in the military. They'll go in, yeah, I'm low IQ for a female. Yeah, I'm a man-hating feminist cunt. Yeah, I have no virtues. I can't really make a career outside of this. I'm a loser. I'm not going in the military. And I'm not even going to have to serve in combat. And if it ever comes about that I might have to serve in combat, I'll just bang one of my fellow dudes because they're all so fucking horny. Because they ain't seen a broad in 2 years except for me and these other chicks serving with them. So yeah, even if there's the possibility that they will be put in combat, they just bang a guy and get pregnant. And they're out. Not that that's ever going to happen anyway. Give me a break. 98%, still more than 98% of fucking casualties in war are women. All right? And that other 2%, that's like civilians and civilian workers, civilian helpers, and non-military personnel. Very small number of that is military personnel. You know, and by the way, again, it's not purposeful. It's not because they were actually put into what was thought to be a combat situation. But, you know, they didn't have the intel. They lacked the necessary intel. So they end up being in a place that it wasn't known was dangerous. If the military knew beforehand, they wouldn't put any women there. Because men are expendable. We're expendable, right? Yeah. That's why male judges can't, they can't bring themselves to put women in prison, even though they commit a horrible crime. I can't do it. It's a Wayman. My mommy was a Wayman. Ay.